Mic check 1 2 1 2. Are you ready for episode 52? Woo! Episode 52 of the experiment. That's strange. Skype is low on my end. No, not Skype. Spotify used to be higher. Who knows? Not gonna touch anything. I've been mingling with the audio. Actually, I learned a lot of things. I've been trying to do some stuff. I've been trying to set up like my thing professionally, and it's been a nightmare. But I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things about routing. Like, I've seen in a lot of mixers the word Q, but I actually never understood what it meant. All the DJs know what it is, and I finally realized what is a Q. A Q is a mix for the headphones or routed to somewhere else. I mean, I learned a lot of things. Anyway, this show is brought to you by shadaware.com. Welcome to Club Shada number 52. 52. The pandemic show. It's like, pandemic is coming back everywhere, so, you know. Kaysha's Club Shada and Boddhi Satva's Quarantine Groove. Like, I think we find the perfect names. Listen, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm glad to have everybody. Don't forget to leave your likes as you come in. It's like, you know, when we arrive in a house and you remove your shoes. It's the same thing. Here you leave a like when you enter. It's good for the algorithm. And a lot of people, they watch the live and then they don't leave a comment when they leave. That's not cool. It's very important to support in any way, and you know, leave a comment while you're chatting, or I'll remind you to just turn off the chat, go leave a comment. I'm having a lot of fun. Kaysha, you're the best. Kaysha, you're so sexy. Whatever you want to say. And then come back to the chat. What up, Future Sound Beat? I hope you're good. Nerida, I hope you're good. CV Beats, what up, brother? Maishki Zomba. Hey. What do you do? Send me some subscribers. Hey, Tatiana. What up? Hey, Miss Julie Buddy, how's the new house? I hope everybody's doing fine, as we are doing fine. I have a special guest in the building tonight. So how do I introduce this guy? He's a guy who tried to scam me by MySpace, on MySpace back in the days. But yeah, we'll talk about all this. He's he's a renowned DJ. You know, it's not a lot of people who can say they invented a style. You know, they invented a musical genre all by themselves. And our guest tonight has invented a genre all by himself. Magic Pro, what up, brother? Ooh, logo, new name. I like that. Hello, you. Hey, we have a special guest we have new guests in the building. I like that. What up, Joel? What up, Irina? What up, Nadia? Nadia is here, so all the likes are gonna be given. I have 7 likes missing. Leave a like. So listen, let me introduce you to my guest. He's a very successful model. He used to be a porn star, but now he's retired, and he's an amazing DJ. And before all of that, he's a good friend, which is the most important. Everybody make some noise, give some hearts in the comment for Mr. Boddhi Satva. Don't cry with my presentation. Are you here? I'm not hearing you. Can you hear me? We're not hearing you. Now it's starting. You see, that's the thing with Boddhi. We set up everything works, and I'm sure he touched something.
No, because I was trying to change my camera. I'm trying to use a different camera for Skype.
Yeah. That's the reason why we test before we start. How are you, Nadia?
It seems like the couple of times we try to do lives, you and I have had technical matters.
Listen, the thing is, you and I, we started this live thing, and like I can't even say that in our area, we are of the only few that survived the live thing, because a lot of people, they started because it was the thing of the moment, and then they were not able, they were not able to stop touching things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure shit out here, man.
Don't worry, you good.
Julie
saying she having nightmare, problem with the internet, water leakage in the kitchen, problem with hot water. What the fuck? I thought it was a new apartment. What happened?
Damn. Well, welcome everyone. Greetings everyone. Who do we have? Okay.
Damn.
Welcome, Ashki Zomba.
Everybody's here.
CV Beats. We see the
Shada
gang.
Here. I hope you're doing well too. Yes. Yes, she's doing well. Did you just say retired porn star? Yes. He didn't tell you? Oh, okay. What up, my cousin?
Retired porn star.
Everyone is cool. Tatiana is saying hello, Boddhi Satva. Future Sound Beat is saying welcome, Boddhi. Mashki Zomba is saying sub, Boddhi. Nerida is saying hey, brother. Future Sound Beats.
Nerida in the boot.
So, bro, so how do we start? Like, it's Club Shada #1, back when it was called Sushiro Vibes, when it was just like we testing the lives. You were my first guest. Back then, my camera was an iPhone. My camera was an iPhone. We was really getting started in this thing, and ever since then, I put some lights there. I bought some trees. I'm using a professional microphone, professional camera, lights. One light. I'm about to add some stuff.
I'm taking knowledge from you from those experiments you're doing.
Yeah. Listen, it's
stealing ideas.
Listen, it's very interesting, and even you, like you. But let's start from the beginning, because last time we were just talking, like it was not even a show. It was just like, hey, let's go live on YouTube since we have nothing to do. But you were already doing your live stream daily at that point. But I mean, let's go back from the start for the people who don't know you, which means nobody here, but who knows who's gonna watch this video and say, yeah, who's this guy? You were born in Africa, Central African Republic.
Central African Republic. Yes, Bangui, capital city. Grew up in Bria, 600 kilometers away from the capital city until I was 18 years old.
Wow.
To a Central African and French father and a Belgian American mother.
Okay. It's a lot of DNA in there.
Trust me.
Macaroni.
It was hard to figure out my identity for a while because one of those things.
So,
but
how long have you been? How long did you live in Africa?
18 years. I was born and raised.
18 years.
And bred.
Bro, you're more African than me. Like, I left when I was 7. You left like at 18. That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, 17 to be exact, but I was 17 turning 18, so yeah.
I always say that there's 3 types of Africans. You have people who are in Africa, who live in Africa, who are like really living it, country to country, of course. Then you have those who lived until their adult life, their teenage years, and then they move to Europe. Those don't have the same. Those they come with a more African mentality than the ones who were born in Europe. And it's funny because the ones that are born in Europe are the most vocal, the most pro-black, pro-African, pro-this, pro-that, and most of them, they don't even go to Africa. So it's funny. And those are the ones that you see online talking all the time but they actually have a European view, and they don't even realize that when you hear them talk, they really talk like Europeans, and they come with European solutions for the continent. And yeah, I mean, and then you have those like me. I arrived when I was 8, so in a way, I mean, I think I'm more European in my way to be than you. Actually, I don't even know how to dance sukus when you dance sukus like a...
I don't know. I don't know if you can quantify the Africanity of somebody by the capacity of that person able to dance, but and you know that very well. But I mean, yes, I mean, it's like the idea that because you're black, you got a long from the back, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's always the case for everybody.
Well, your mileage will vary. Your mileage will vary. So you've lived in Portugal, you've lived in Brussels, you've lived in Bria.
Yeah, man.
What are your
and so yeah.
What is your favorite place to live? If you think of the places where you've been, where is the place where you feel the most at home?
I would say Portugal, because I mean, I decided to come here because it felt the closest to what home feels like, which is, Central African Republic, but pretty much anywhere in Africa, for me. So that's what it is. So yeah, I feel at home here, but I feel really at home, as in my soul feels at home when I am back on the continent, when I am,
How long haven't you been?
The soul of Africa.
How long haven't you been in Central African Republic?
Well, since 2013, January 2013 to January the 23rd, 2013. Yeah.
So how?
It's been a while.
Let's stick in with the, in the back, and then we go to the front. What is ancestral soul? Because you have your own style that you invented.
Ancestral soul is ancestral soul came about as a necessity for me to find, first of all, an identity that I felt was different than what I was hearing, because I always had a different kind of sound.
Okay.
And so also what I brought to house music at the time when I started was absolutely fresh. Nobody was doing that doing it that way at least.
Okay.
Not saying that nobody was doing anything genius and amazing before, but it's just that when I came in with a really, really, really massive switch in the way the sound was approached, because I came from the ndombolo, the rumba, the coupé décalé, the soukous, etc. Bikuti, you can name it, and all those genres of music, zouk, etc. gave me this sort of like ear and just approach to sound that was probably more Afrocentric, maybe, than most of the guys who maybe were bringing more a Caribbean sound to house music, which has always been the case, for the most part. So they had their own feel of what Afro house or
Yeah, it
tribal
has
house
that more.
would-
It had a more. When they say Afro house, it feels very reggaetonish, very soca. They have like a lot of.
Yeah, so for sure. But of course, there's also African artists that was already doing house music at the
Yeah, of
time.
course,
But
of
even
course.
their way of doing house music was not, it's very complicated to do those syncopated rhythms. Those very like syncopated, like off drums, off snares. When working with the shakers, and like not everybody can do it. And for a long time, people were shocked. People thought I was actually a melanated brother, So they were like, when people would say, well, I came, like I would DJ at a venue in Miami, for example, during conference, winter music conference, and I would literally hear people like, oh my God, I heard about this guy, Boddhi Satva, man. Shit, I heard he's killing it, and it's like, and people are like, yeah, this is Boddhi Satva. I remember that person just turned and was like, yeah, this ain't Boddhi Satva. They're like, yeah, this is Boddhi Satva. He's black. Well, yeah, but he's a light-skinned black man. And so it's like, oh. You mean he's white? Well, if you want to call it like that, yeah, okay, whatever. It was so interesting, and you could see the disappointment in the person's face. So,
Yeah, he's like, no. It's it reminds me one day. I'm in Martinique, and I'm taking my breakfast, and there's this woman, like not young, like a woman with her children. She was taking her breakfast in the same hotel as us, and so at a point she comes to us and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you Kaysha?" And I'm like, "Oh yes, how are you?" And she's like, "Oh, do you mind if we take a picture?" I said, "Oh no problem." So snap a picture, and then she's like, "Oh, so do you mind if you sign me? Can you sign me an autograph?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." So I take one of my back then we had those cards ready to sign. So I'm here writing, and so what is your name? And she's, "Oh, I'm Marie-Jeanne," whatever her name was. So I'm start writing, and she's like, "So are you from Martinique?" And I'm like, "Nope." "Oh, so you are from Guadeloupe?" And I'm like, "Nope." And she's like, "Oh, Monsieur Guyanais?" And I'm like, "Nope." I'm from Congo. I'm from Africa. And she's like, "Oh," and she just left without her autograph. I was like, "Yo, what kind of racism?"
she was like, "You literally just ruined my dream."
She was like, "No, Zouk cannot belong to an African. You cannot be the number one artist. No." She just left, and I was like, "Wow." And it's strange how sometimes people need to tribalize music and to put a color or a nationality on the maker of whatever music they like, and most people will take it positively, saying, wow, it's amazing that finally somebody that looks everything but black is actually on the forefront of making the music. And he's African. He was born in Africa. His father is African, but they still will try to take it from you because they would have loved for you to have dreadlocks and be dark like like we say in Congo. Oh, thank you, Bruno.
But I feel like it's less now because of the new
Yeah, of
generations.
course.
There's a little bit less of this cleavage or this kind of separation.
Yeah.
But
The new generation,
I
they used to it.
honestly I don't think I've really suffered. I mean, not directly because nobody really dared or even tried to come at me sideways with my skin color.
Because they know
Because I'm so.
one slap, they're dead with those hands. One slap, they have
but
foam coming out the mouth like that.
but I think it's because of my Africanity and how I have been. I'm
Yeah.
coherent. I'm not a gimmick. I'm not a guy that's trying to be. That's just who I am.
Listen, I tell people all the time, like, Boddhi Satva is way more African than me. Like, in everything. The way to dress, the cooking, we share a lot of the mentality and a lot of the values.
Philosophy.
But I always tell people, listen, if you see me dancing dombolo, you're gonna be like, bro, come on, go bleach your skin. What is Julie saying? I suppose like the bathroom is new, but I think I'm too naive. I really hope everything is gonna be okay. I'm connected to an airbox. I can't even use my connection. I'm so depressed. Damn, you should have visited the place before renting it. I mean, it's gonna be all right. Don't worry. I like Boddhi Satva's energy when he's playing. Yeah, me too.
Thank you very much.
Yes, guys, don't forget to like the live. Nadia, I'm so happy you're here. Kaysha, a bit too much reverb on your mic. I don't have reverb at all. There's no reverb.
Man, why is Ugo F Pro trying to act like the most professional of us all here in the house, brother?
Nah,
Come on.
Ugo
why
is...
it gotta be that one brother in the chat that's gotta be like, by the way, there's a little bit. It's like when you DJ and there's always that guy that's
leave Ugo alone. So the thing is, because I've been doing a lot of testing with my my sound thing. I don't know, maybe it's just the room. Who knows? Listen. What up, Cisco? Thank you so much, Bruno.
Cisco le centro, bibaramo. Tangananya se watibe Afrika bibarala kwe. Il ngwati te pika mini kete kozeri na frangin Kaysha bon. Agimini kete, hein? Mouvement vocal, verbal. Ali Soroti Andou, à l'époque.
Whatever you said. Is this the peak of the African rhythm in the world, or are we still at the beginning of our conquest?
African rhythm to the world, or are we still? Oh, I think we're still at. I mean, really, we've always been, man. It's just that if you really think about sounds, like the other day I was listening to some Marilyn Manson of all sound, and some of the drums, like it's seriously African drums, bro. It is.
Yeah, that's true. But listen,
it's like, dude, you just add like a little bit of syncopation to it, and it's gonna work. So I think African rhythm music.
African rhythm has always been here. It's just a question of at a point, American music, Western music was just the center of the world because they own all the media. Since they won the war, they also won the war on the propaganda. So it felt like our music was world music. And I believe that with time and with this new generation, and especially, maybe it's not a question of generation, but it's a question of the internet. With the internet, it's easier today for people to stick to what is the mirror to what they like or what they are. Back in the days, if you were a black girl with a big booty, and big breast and braided hair or afro, you would turn on TV, there would be nobody that looks like you. You would look at Vogue magazine, at all these
Well,
fashion
now you got
magazines.
the TV, you see Kendall Jenner and all these girls looking, well, trying to look like you.
Yeah, well, at
There's
least.
nothing
But
wrong with
you know what?
it.
In a way, they helped democratize a certain type of body.
Yeah.
Even
I
if
mean, not taking shots.
even if it's the abused version, they kind of help democratize it. But today with Instagram, today with all these, and you with YouTube, with the fact that you create what you want to listen, like you create your playlist, and the algorithm will serve you the type of things that you want to see. And I believe that this is why all of a sudden African music is at the center of a lot of things, and Latin music too, because yeah, we used to appear when they let us appear because they control the media. Now they don't anymore. Like a show like Quarantine Groove was impossible 10 years ago because of the cost of the internet, because of the fact that it was no TV would have hired somebody to play every day at hours when they prefer playing some series or whatever. Today we can start with our 10 followers and build it to 1 million on our own channels. And so all of a sudden, yeah, all the sound that have always been there, they're exploding now. They're exploding because a lot of the people who like it can discover it and can keep watching it, and there's a lot of content coming out of our music, but it was always there. It's just that today it's not even that it's on the forefront. It's just like today, what you want to hear, you can watch it. So, that's cool.
True.
Hugo F said, "Don't treat me like that." Hugo F, be my
don't
PT,
so
man.
sensitive.
Don't forget to do
looks
my
Hugo looks like he's beefed up and shit.
Listen,
Like, damn.
Hugo needs to train us. I don't even know like if he's a beat maker or a model. Like when sometimes I go on Instagram, I'm like, damn, look at that body.
Like that.
Tatiana is asking if you were speaking French. No, he was speaking Sango, which is the official language of Central Africa Republic. But he can speak French to you. But you don't even speak French. He can speak Portuguese to you if you want. He speaks anything. But don't.
Sim, posso tentar falar português.
Cher. Emmanuel, comment ça va, chouchou? Comment ça s'est passé l'examen de conduite? J'espère que tu as ton permis maintenant. Parce que j'ai besoin d'un chauffeur au Canada. Merci d'avance. They're saying, guys, I would love to stay here with you, but work is waiting for me in the morning. I'll be back to watch tomorrow. Love, brothers. Love, Nerida. Thanks for
much love, mommy.
Thanks for passing by.
Blessings, sister, to you and the family. Blessings.
So yeah, it's I really believe, like, I remember when Kizomba was just starting in Portugal, when it was just starting, when Afro House was and back then it was called Afrobeat here. And I was like, no, Afrobeat is something else, but here in Portugal, Afro House was Afrobeat. And it's interesting, like in France, Kizomba was, I don't think nobody was using the word Kizomba like in 2002 when I was coming to Portugal and go to parties, perform. It was more like Passada, Venturinha, etc. And in France, it was the Cap Verdean parties where we would call it Kabozouk. And the names just changed from a place to another. That's funny. And it's the same thing for music. Because people don't really... I think the only place where it's really well organized is actually the house music, the dance music, where like every genre has a name. every variation, the first person to do is like, oh, I'm gonna call this like this, and at least you can navigate through all the genres and without feeling lost to what is what in compared to in Zouk and Kizomba, where yeah, like people are still fighting to know what is the name of things, where they come from, and nobody's trying
Yeah, that's funny, right?
to do some
That's really funny
research.
to me. And it's so interesting now. Like everybody's trying to say that, oh, Kizomba is this, Zouk is that, oh, this is not Zouk, this is not actually compiled. This is it's like, dude, come on, man. But
Enjoy.
a lot of people don't understand. They don't try to understand, and then they take whatever they take for for granted. And it's like
Yeah,
it's like yeah, this is what it is. It's like Afro House. Like people come and they have this idea, this preconceived idea that oh, you're the Afro House guy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But then people just or they limit you or they corner you, and sometimes it's so frustrating as an artist when you know
yeah,
things and you like. And you hear guys like literally. There's a documentary out there right now that I'm seeing, and it's like those guys are calling themselves like the kings of Afro House. Some of them are, some of the guys in the documentary are, and I'm like, I'm not trying to diss anybody, but it's like most of the guys are not, like not because I'm trying to claim no fucking titles, but it's like because I don't give a fuck about trying to be a king of anything. But to me it's interesting to see how people try to paint a narrative, and I spoke to you about it. I was actually frustrated that day when I called you on the phone, and you were like, well, don't be frustrated, tell your story, let's work on telling the story. And I was like,
yep,
I got you and I understand what you mean, but it's just that at the end of the day it's interesting that people will always be doing whatever they'll be doing, and it's like, it's frustrating because it's like, yo, you are talking so much shit, you're talking so much nonsense, like, because come on, man. Yeah, I get frustrated at times.
the thing is this. I believe that a lot of people are frustrated. I mean, I remember me 10 years ago. I kept talking to people who had the power to do something, and I kept being frustrated because they wouldn't do the things I believe that needed to be done for Zouk, for Kizomba, for whatever, for the market. From a business perspective, from an art perspective, from a culture perspective. I've always said why nobody writes books, why everybody just wants to be in the club and party or DJ. Why nobody says, oh, I wanna write about the culture, so that because a lot of our culture has not been written because we were not in control of the writing, the publishing, all these things. Today, you don't even need, if you want to write a book, you can write your book and set it online. And at least the people who are interested in the knowledge will have a way to find your opinion, your version of history, and whoever has another version. And then at least they can compare. The problem with a lot of people, including us for a long time, is that we love to complain about those who did it. Because if there's nothing, it's a blank canvas. The first one who will come and say, yo, all Kizomba Zouk Kampa comes from Angola. If he's the only one who is saying this, everybody will believe him. But if somebody comes and actually comes with something that is with dates, with like etymologic history and everything, to say it's a way more complicated than that. It's a story of the movement of culture, and same thing for Afro House. If those people took the time and the effort to make a documentary in their own glory, well, if there's nothing else, then they become the truth. Because at a point, the more, if you are the only version, you become the truth. And I believe that it's important for everybody to be able to tell their stories, especially in when you look at those documentaries, what do you need to make a documentary? You just need a guy with a camera and a microphone. That's all you need. And interviewing some people, having some conversation, cutting everything together into a 20, 30, 45, 1 hour documentary. When you talk about the things, put some images, talk about like the different, because I believe that a genre is never one person. A genre is always the confluence of a lot of different people who find themselves more or less doing the same thing. I know that I got my own slice of genre in the Zouk Kizomba that is called Candy Zouk, but Candy Zouk would not exist without Nichols, without the influence of Jean-Michel Rotin, who was doing Zouk R&B, without Ali Angel, who was doing a Zouk that had a different feeling, without Real C, and then without the influence from Portugal. And then same thing for Cap Verdean music. You had the big influence from Kassav, from Zouk, from Compa, and same thing for Kizomba. So it's not just one person who comes and say, oh, it just came from my ass. No, this person has been influenced by something. But if this person and everybody else and us, we don't tell the story, well, one day we're going to wake up and there's going to be a Netflix documentary about Kizomba or about Zouk or about Afro House, and you're going to have a bunch of strangers or newcomers or parvenus who will just come and say, yo, I was there and I came with this thing like the ancestral, by ancestors and from the soul, and that's how I invented ancestral soul. And yeah, and if nobody asked, but wasn't it Boddhi Satva? And it's gonna be like, oh, yeah, big respect to him, but no. You see what I mean? The thing is, if everybody's just busy doing the music and not sitting down and also controlling the narrative, and look at how in the United States of America, one man with the power of lies, and more lies, and every time you're trying to fact check him, he calls you fake news. How he has now millions of people who believe in his narrative. And there's a lesson to learn here, is that, man, even if you don't say nothing, then yeah, the path is clear for everybody. And I really believe that for me and the music that where I have a lot of followers, I've been thinking about the book. I've been thinking about the documentary for a long time now. I've been thinking about how far I want to go in the past. I want to go back to slavery to explain what is Kizomba, what is Compa, what is Morna, what is Cap Verdean Zouk, what is Passada, and I want to explain to people that you have the dance, you have the music, because a lot of people, they just mix everything. It's just like salsa. Salsa, it just means sauce. It's a mix of so many different dances, so many different genres, but commercially, salsa was cool. So that's what everybody used. But it was a commercial decision. And it's the same thing for Kizomba. Kizomba is a commercial name. But Zouk, Kizomba, it means the same thing. It just means party. But then you have the people who come with their nationalists and they go everywhere and they say, oh, this is the way you have to dance it. Oh, this is the... And then people cannot enjoy anymore, because you have... The world now is full of little tyrants who wants to force you to dance one way or to call the music a certain name. And I really believe that it becomes our responsibility at a point. I believe that it was a responsibility of those who came before us, but they didn't do their job. So now that we are the elders,
there is a documentary about house music, because this is the thing, right? You know, not to cut you,
Yeah,
Bakari.
go ahead.
Um, Afro house is just an emulation of house music, right? And it's at the end of the day, a beautiful documentary was done by this man. I forgot who it was, but it's called Maestro, and it explains to you the history and the origins of house music. It's called Maestro. I don't know if it's available on YouTube. It might be. You might have some excerpt, but it's a beautiful documentary that really gives you the genesis from disco, etc., etc. And it's really, really, really amazing how you could see, like, Paradise Garage, Studio 54, The Loft, David Mancuso, man, the legends, man, the
Yeah.
legends. You got to understand that, all of us are fruit, as you mentioned earlier, of our forefathers, right? But in a way, it's not so much that you want to be like, oh fuck y'all, y'all stupid. No, but because obviously you're right. Every season, its moment, right? So every generation their stars, every sound their stars, etc. We get it. Cool. By now some people call you and I, like, Pai Grande, Scottish, big datas, whatever. And it's like, cool. We're still very relevant, and we're still doing what we do, and we have a story to tell. And you're right, we should be doing, and we will be doing the documentaries that we're talking about. I mean, we're in the process of setting these in motions, but in the meantime, the level of bigotry and intellectual savagery, I would even say, that
Savagery.
no, it's savagery, man. It's savagery, and
It
a
is,
lot
it
of those
is.
guys, they know I'm very vocal about it, and even I literally, I don't give a shit. That's why I'm not necessarily my scene's favorite man. At least the industry people respect, but they know, like, I'm not gonna take no bullshit from none of y'all, because we know what's up. And I'm not trying to be the guy that stands out, with my fist up and say, yeah, fight the power. No, but we all know what's up, and the time will come for us to just set the record straight. Because it's not about me, Boddhi Satva, because I'm the big data of Afro House. Yes, I am indeed one of the creators and forefathers of this sound, definitely. But I'm not the only guy, and these stories have to be explained chronologically,
Yeah.
so that everybody gets a well-deserved shine. No, it's not a crew of little fuckers who wants to show themselves as, this is who we are. Really? Like, you don't have access to me or to other guys? And you're gonna say, but we didn't know. Fuck out of here, man. You all know.
But that's,
you know what's up. But it's okay.
Pizzo says something that's very important. We should be using these platforms to gain knowledge and empower ourselves. It's all at our grasp. But the community needs
what
to
did he say?
engage, and so do we. It is true.
What did he say?
He said we should be using these platforms to gain knowledge and empower ourselves. It's all at our grasp, but the community needs to engage, and so do we. And
But
yeah,
which platform is Pizzo talking about?
all these platforms that we're using, YouTube, etc., etc. Like, that's very interesting that, every time I want to learn something about anything, like, for example, yesterday when I was trying to change my setup to learn about the routing of the sound and etc., I ended up going to YouTube and asking questions like, what is a Q? What is a mix minus? How do we do this? How we do that? And I watched like 20 or 30 videos, and I was learning. And if you type, what is Kizomba? What is Afro House? Who invented Afro House? Who invented all these things? You have a bunch of opinions that a lot of times are uninformed opinion by people who are just trying to say, oh, it's us. And you have people, their only job is just going to every Instagram post and insulting every Russian or Ukrainian who dance kizomba in a way that they don't like. But you don't see the same people. You don't see the same people on every Angolan and Cape Verdean and Mozambican and whatnot Instagrams that are dancing the way that they like. You don't see them saying, yo,
And on top of
amazing
that,
people.
they're not turning it to a business. And what you said, and for example, I'm seeing somebody in the comments here that's saying some. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to take what he's saying. I don't know if he's trying to joke, if he's trying to say something silly.
Be on a positive vibe. Come on, it's a house of. Here is the house.
Exactly.
So
it's the house of Jews. So I would like to address. I don't know if you can look into the comments. Let's make sure that we check carefully who's the people who are writing. Because some folks are writing some stuff. I don't understand always the Portuguese, but maybe you might want to look into it, because that's the thing. Like some guys or some people just wake up one day, they just come, they don't understand the actual, root of our conversation, and that's the thing, because they don't understand that they're not trying to understand. They'll just come and just bring statements that are coming from absolutes because they believe that what they know, because what they know is the ultimate knowledge, which it's not.
And sometimes it's not what they know. Sometimes it's what they heard.
Oh, thank you very much. And what you heard is not what it is, because if you're part of the history, only you can tell the part of the history you're from, and bring alongside your vision, others' vision, so that it can complete and build a whole canvas.
Yeah.
How many people of your followers of the Shada gang, of the Club Shada, knows that Kaysha has been a lover of house music for God knows how many years, right?
Some of
Not
them.
many. How many people knows that you've been one of the forefathers of French rap? Not many.
Not many.
No, but this is the thing. So that's the thing. So for me, it's very interesting because, and then as we said, that some people that we spoke about will be like, who? Kaysha what? Forefathers of what? Fuck out of here, man. This guy, you see? And well, it is what it is, but it's not about and trying to ask people to recognize who we are, because we are recognized for what we're doing. It's just saying that asking for people, as Pizzo was saying, is like, because there's knowledge, you have no excuses to be stupid. Go and search.
Well. Let me stop you here.
No.
Let me stop you here.
Go. Come, Papa, come.
It's not because knowledge is everywhere that people become intelligent. If you're dumb, you're dumb. A lot of people, they don't know how to make the difference between knowledge and propaganda and there's the internet is a blessing and a curse. A lot of people have been given a voice. People like you, people like me. And we are using the platforms to have a voice and to give a voice to the people who are interested in talking with us, and to put our music here somewhere. But a lot of people, and way more people, are using the internet to just make a lot of noise. There's never been, and it's funny because there was a comment from Ugo that was saying it's a shame that Zouk and Kizomba is dying. And the fact is, we have a lot more producers and singers, but you don't have a dance floor to dance. But there's something interesting here. There are millions of beat makers, millions of singers, millions of music videos, but at the same time, if everything sounds the same and everybody's just trying to sound like whoever is the number one right now or whoever has the sound right now, and people are now working to craft their own sound and take the time to, like, if I'm gonna take somebody like Malcolm Beats, for example, or even has a distinct sound, because every time he does a remix for me, it has his own style, because he has a lot of other sounds that he does, and this creates his personality, right? A lot of people
Shada to
come.
Lil Maro, and
Yeah,
Nuno Valente.
yeah. And
Yes,
a lot of people, because they come without a personality, they end up becoming a lot of noise. Because I remember back in the days when it was like just 10 artists in the market. There was more space for everybody, for us, but at the same time, a lot of people were trying to jump in and be part of the market. Now that everybody can be in the market, we realize how much noise you have at the same time as the quality content. And I'm not here to judge what is good and what is bad, but there's sometimes I'm going to listen to 20 songs and I'm only going to remember two, and those two are the ones that had a different sound, that sounded different from everything else. And I don't really believe that I don't believe that Zouk and Kizomba are dying, because they just have been privatized by the Colombians. And it's like reggaeton, Kizomba, Zouk, all these things are now becoming Latin music.
but this echoes what you were saying, Papa Keisha.
Yeah.
I mean, look, sorry to cut you, but I'm sorry. Look at this, right? Again, other people from other countries see more value in what we do than ourselves. At a certain point, we need to wake up and stop thinking that we are stars when there are people who are making millions with the shit that you created.
Hey.
Because y'all happy being stars within your own little pussy and be like, hey, I'm the big this, I'm the big this. Bro, who the fuck are you big compared to? Like, let's check ourselves. Like, that's like me, right? At a certain point, I was feeling a certain way because people were taking my sound and doing their stuff and inspiring themselves and whatever. I was feeling like they were taking my sound when I think they were being inspired by myself. And Oshulade, one of my big mentors, was like, you should actually feel fortunate and honored because you're inspiring other people. Now, if they're copying you verbatim, it's okay. That's their process until they find their sound. But, you are inspiring people. So I'm not saying that I was probably not caught up in my ego, because I was. But then when I got that reality check from that person who really has no, it's like when somebody's like you and me, when we talk, it's like, yo, it's real. There's no BS. The problem is that when people get to a certain level, I don't know if you noticed, they're successful, but then they become very sort of like resentful against whoever will give them points of views or axis of direction as to how and where they could take their work. And we experience that, you and I, often as we speak to a lot of people with whom we're trying to share the visions and the strategies that you shared with me that I've applied for my own business, etc., and spreading that gospel, that Kaysha gospel.
Yeah.
But you feel me? It's like, when we seeing these things happening, when you just mentioned the Colombians and all that, taking this sound, and it's like, dude, wow. Well, it's a beautiful thing, if we know how to take advantage of it. But it's almost like it's echoing what you were saying about the dancers. Yeah, y'all complaining about cultural appropriation, but what are you doing for your own culture? What are you doing for your own brand? For you to bring about a serious whatever, man.
Yeah, because if everybody is only dancing to trap and whatever's and doing TikToks on music that is not yours, this is what happens. You have to you have to learn from what the Congolese do, from what the Nigerians do. Nigerians are pushing their sound worldwide. It's like one man, and at the same time they are opening a bit to the others, and they are letting some in, but they are really proud of their artists and they are pushing their artists. And when they do all these dance videos, they do these dance videos to the genres that they like. And like I tell people, like, don't complain about what people do if you didn't do anything yourself. You can complain if people prevented you from having your from having a voice, so that they can have a voice on top of yours. But if you didn't do nothing, you can't complain. You can complain that, people are dancing things in the way they are dancing. And at the same time, you also have to let art be art, and art evolve by itself. This is something that I always say. But I used to complain like everybody. And at a point I said to myself, have your platform and start telling your stories. Start explaining who you are to the people who come to listen to you. And have those videos here. If you want people to know what is Afro House, what is Ancestral Soul, who did what, how, take the time to do a Monday talk or 2 or 3 and invite the people who are still here, who were there in the beginning, and start having the conversation in your platform, whatever the size it is, because one day somebody will type, what is Ancestral Soul? And your video will come first. And this is when this person will be like, okay, now I know what it is. One day I don't even know how I asked myself this, but I was having some questioning about wait, let me do something, because I'm hoping I didn't forget to do something. No, it's okay. Yeah, I was having this question about Zouk, but I don't remember exactly what was my question, but I was asking myself, okay, so what is Zouk? Like, who invented Zouk, what time, where, etc. And all of a sudden I start ending up I found some information about what was Zouk, but I ended up in compa. And then I realized that compa came from something, that something, cadence came from something before. And then I start going in and finding videos of people explaining the different what was cadence, and I realized that there was an influence of Congo drums, because actually a lot of the slaves that became the people of Haiti were coming from Congo, or the Kingdom of Congo. So there was a lot of Congo drum, and all these came from Zouk and compa. Zouk came from compa, but compa actually, if you go a few hundred years before, it comes from the voodoo drums, and you can go, and then you can retrace with the slavery, and then all of a sudden I ended up learning about meringue, and then I was like, okay, what is meringue the same thing as merengue? No, because meringue is one side of the island, what was the French side, and then merengue is the Spanish side, and then all of a sudden you can start doing some diagrams and learning. But me, I'm a learner. I don't come and say, oh, these come from there. And maybe because I don't have a chip in the game, because I'm not Angolan, I'm not Cap Verdean, I'm not all this, so I don't really care who wins and where it's from. I can actually look at the information without being, I don't care if it comes from here or there, even if and then when you start really learning and finding all the information, then all of a sudden you actually feel great, because you're realizing that it actually comes from so many places at the same time. And then now you have to do a timeline. You have to start to understand. You have to understand the role of slavery in there. You also have to understand the role of the French finally, because if they didn't play the music for their masters, they wouldn't have invented that music that way, because they came from their African rhythms and voodoo and religions. And then the masters told them, hey, play us from some cadence, which was actually some French music. And then they transformed the cadence in cadence, not with a C, but with a K. all this I was reading, and I spent the whole night being wow. And then all of a sudden I ended up realizing that, for example, I always thought that mazurka, for example, was a music from Martinique. And then I realized that no, it's the same thing. At a point, Martinique was, before it was owned by the French, it was owned by Austria. And the Austrian, they actually have something that is called mazurka. And the original mazurka, it sounds exactly like the one from the West Indies, just like the one from the West Indies has the syncopation, right? And then I was like, okay, so how did the, because I know there's some huge bands of mazurka in Martinique, and I was like, okay, wait, so how did this happen? And same thing. When those people came from their country to be in Martinique to whatever, they would ask the slaves, yo, this is mazurka. I want you to play that thing with the violins and stuff. And then the slaves start transforming it and adding the flavor, adding the pili pili and the kwanga. And it's fascinating to realize that it's more than what you think. And
Absolutely.
it's so much more than what you think. But if the people don't know, and if you are the only one who has the information, but you don't give it to the people, how will the people know? Boddhi makes the best tribal beats. His music speaks to the soul of my soul.
Thank you,
The
Motomoto.
soul of your
Thank you very
soul,
much.
eh? Hey. Il est
Hey,
nice.
là, allez donc,
C'est là, il y a de lever là. Irina is saying that somebody was eager to hear us sing. Yeah. I was watching all his message. I had to block the guy because, Irina, it's interesting. Some people, when they see live, they think they owned, that we owe us a free show or to sing. And it was like, yo, sing. I'm not here to hear you talk. And I was like, get the fuck out. That's what you're gonna do. Greetings, Mr. Motomoto. Yeah. I think in the early 2000s, stardom created a bit of a gap between the wave of creators and the consumers. Everybody started reaching new markets and without solidifying their roots. Interesting. What do you think of that?
Can you repeat it? Because I didn't quite get it.
I think in the early 2000s, stardom created a lot of gap between creators and consumers, and everybody started to reach new markets without solidifying their roots.
But the thing is that commerce and rules, it's like, trying to, and that I get that from Kaysha. It's like trying to make music for the soul, music that touches your heart, music that makes you feel amazing, music that makes you feel, and then music that, brings money on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, you're right about it though, but man, I don't know. I mean, I would agree to a certain extent, but I think also there was a big issue with the digitalization of music.
Yeah.
That led for things to shake the industry in a way that, interestingly enough, independent artists were more prepared for the change, for the conversion from the transition. Sorry, from physical to digital.
Yeah.
Because smaller structures and easier to, I guess, kind of adapt.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How did you, because you also have a label offering recordings, so was your label born in digital life?
Yes,
or
it was born in 2007.
So you didn't leave the transition from CDs to digital.
Well, I mean, I did not leave it from a label perspective, as in owning my label, no. But I did actually in 2003, 2004, I had my first project, which was physical. And this was still a time where I remember the guy I did it with that helped me do it. You know, it was like, yeah, you have to choose. You can't be a DJ and a producer. You got to be either one. And you know, the sound that you're doing, you can only do that kind of sound. But at the time, I love those fat kick drums. And it was like, no, the kick drum needs to be light. And you know, those typical fucking like
The horrible,
disgusting kick
the,
drums that are done. The horrible like. It's like, oh shit.
the nightmare.
So that was his vision. And it was like, you know, the stairs had to be this really tight, no grooves, no feeling, no. And I already had that thing, and I was like, no, fuck this, man. Okay, after this project, and I was paying the guy because I didn't quite know how to produce at the time, right? And so, yeah, I did leave that, you know, I pressed my first vinyls at the time, you know, which was, that's
Listen,
crazy.
I lived the transition.
And not to cut.
Go ahead.
Not to cut you. But I remember I went to Miami, the Winter Music Conference for the first time in 2005. I took those vinyls with me, 2004, 2005. I took those vinyls with me. Man, I remember I was shaking in front of the Bob St. Clair, Martin Solveig. I was literally shaking, and I was trying to like, I remember very well, I stayed at the National Hotel in Miami for a whole day.
Nice.
Drinking a Coca-Cola because I didn't have much money. And I was shy, and I didn't know how to go and talk to all these big DJs, you know, DJ Gregory, you know, Carl Craig, fucking, you name it. All the guys were there. Simon did more from Defected. Defected was big, but not as big as it is, you know. I mean, bro, and I was there with my promo vinyls. This was the time you would still bring pro vinyls as promos.
Wow.
You know.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, it was crazy, man.
Yeah, no, you know, it's a lot of the things is like the story of becoming, you know. A lot of people, I believe, they see you as the star, or they see you as the final product, or the product that they see, but they don't realize that all the steps that it took to arrive to where you are. Because listen, people don't know, because you hear talking about the forefront of French rap music, but do people know that you were on the forefront of Central African rap music? Do people realize that you were a rapper looking like Sengoku back in the days?
No, they don't, man. It's true, I'm part of the pioneers. I was some of the pioneers, I mean, you know.
Yeah, you know, like people don't
realize. It's funny, man.
Yeah. I mean, what was the what time did you rap? Like when you were in a rap group, when was it?
It was 1990. Well, we started doing the music thing where we were doing rap. Mm-hmm. When did L'école du micro d'argent came out? I am.
Wow. Let me look at it.
1998.
École du micro d'argent. What an album.
Assis en tailleur, voici en tailleur sur ma montagne, voilà des heures que je me
96.
No, assis en tailleur, 96. So I started around 95, 96. That's when I started to
rap. Is this the one where they have De la Planète Marseille? Or is the one after?
La Planète Marseille was before that.
Me, I remember when these guys arrived, like French rap, it became like they had this American quality, if I can say, in terms of the music. And I remember me in 85. No, 85, I'm abusing. I was 11. No, I would say in 92. In 90, yeah, probably 92. I remember we were rapping in front of Mobutu, bro. Everybody.
Don't say that, people call you a sellout.
No, it's a safe place here, you know, and you know here.
No. I know Shada gang is, but I mean, you know
here. Listen, people get banned easily. You know, I ban people without saying nothing. Here, so, like all of a sudden, all their messages disappear from the chat.
It's funny, but it's you know, it's like very
What up, my guy?
interestingly, being a pioneer is not necessarily something that is nice though. I mean, it's great on the long term, I guess, but it doesn't pay the bills, you know. And I'm glad you said what you said earlier about people not knowing the process, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of hours of pain
Listen, the amount of
and dealing
free,
with
you know, like how
all
much
that
did you
shit.
sell your first beat? I remember to sell a beat, a rap beat, for a floppy disk. I would be like, yeah, you want a beat? Just bring me a floppy disk.
The truth, I won't lie, I never sold this. I, I, I got paid for remix. Maybe I think overall, let me think a little bit. I received a total. Okay, let me do a quick calculation. That's,
It's too late to do calculations, bro.
as far as work, work for hire.
Yeah.
Kind of. Right?
Work for hire. Yeah.
That we did, right? And next year is my 20 years career anniversary. I made a total of 5,000 euros worth of work for hire in the music industry.
Only? You should tell.
That's the truth.
You should. I should replace Nuno and become your manager.
No, this has nothing.
I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Nuno is doing a great job.
At
But
a
I think the
point-
problematic is because go ahead.
Yeah, you know, at a point, I remember that at a point, I would sell a beat for 2005. And some people at a point, maybe in 2004, some people would come and say, I want 10 beats. And they would come with cash. I would be like, all right. And I would do the 10 beats like the same day, like on a laptop.
Crazy.
Or in the train or in the plane, like, and I would arrive with like, here are your beats, and
But you have to remember, you were doing a sound that
yeah,
you had a formula that was working well. My sound was so far-fetched, was so far off the grid
yeah,
that I've always been considered that, like, yo, Boddhi's that guy, man. Yo, you want that sound, you just go to Boddhi. But it's like,
Yeah.
I was not necessarily considered a guy that could do hits, even though I had some club hits and I had some
But you
pretty
know,
decent, successful
you know the
clubs. But,
difference. When I met you, I mean, when we start talking like a lot, when we start talking like, because we've been talking.
After I try to steal, I'm not sorry.
Actually, you should sell me a remix.
Oh my God.
So I'm on MySpace,
very
right? So I'm on MySpace minding my business back in the days, back when MySpace was a thing, right? I'm on MySpace looking for girls, actually. I'm here like, I was like, okay, MySpace, that's where I get the French girls. Skyblog, or the American ones. I5 is where I get the Portuguese girls. What's the name of that one? Party Peeps 2002 is where I get the girls from Holland. And then I just take the train or the plane and I got like all these numbers with, I still have a lot of numbers with I5 near the number. Like, if I type like Facebook, like all these social networks, back then it was like, oh, even easier to hunt. So let me go back to the subject. So I'm here looking for girls on MySpace. And then I receive a message from this guy called Boddhi Satva. I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this white guy with a Buddhist name? And I'm a Buddhist. So I'm like, oh, interesting. It's like, okay. I look at the message. It's like, yeah, make beats, check out my stuff. I live in Belgium. I'm like, oh. So
Actually, hold on.
Yeah.
My presentation was extremely classy, and please let me address that. This is something that people don't know anymore. Guys
True.
be sending you music like, yo, check out my beats.
check my stuff,
How are
bro.
you, bro?
Check my stuff, bro. I'm your bro.
Present yourself. Let me know who you are, what you do, what inspired you. Like, give me a little bit of sell me something.
Well,
Who the fuck are you to come in? I was taught that when you send music to somebody, you submit, you present yourself. First of all, this is who I am. This is where I'm from. This is how my music get inspired. And I'm sending this to you because, and that's what I was doing with it. I did the whole
I
presentation.
agree. I agree with you, but at the same time, when you are like me, when you are a successful producer, and a lot of people are trying to gain some visibility through you, you receive 10 to 20 beats or songs or demos or music videos per day, and you don't read all the greetings, my name is from like, yeah, nigga, just show me the music. So, but I mean, I enjoyed the presentation. It was okay. So I checked the presentation.
Exactly. Don't bullshit, because you know you like it.
No, I don't care. So
Yeah, okay.
the thing
All
is,
right.
it's not that. No, I like it, but I need to be so efficient, because if I don't read 100 emails every day, 5 days I'm just under so many emails that now I'm like, oh my God, I have 3,000 emails to read, So I just tend to just go to my name is okay. I just click the link, listen. I'm gonna say, okay, let me take an hour, listen to everything I've received the last month. And sometimes I don't even, but some people, what I don't like is when somebody talks to me on Instagram and then they just send me an email with the beat. Like I know, like I'm gonna connect the conversation on Instagram and the email.
A lot of people do that. That's the mistake. So continue the story.
So I'm here. I'm like, okay, let me go to his MySpace. So I start listening to a lot of beats, and I'm like, I'm like, hey, that's interesting. I don't even know what song I had at that time. But I'm like, hey, yo, bro, you're doing great music. I got some songs here. Do you want to do a remix? And this guy replies to me, yeah, 2,000 euros. I'm like, yo. I was like, I didn't even reply. I just closed the tab.
And so at the time, hold on. Now at the time, I know that Jack knows you, J Money.
Yeah.
So I hit him, Jack. I think I'm okay, bro. I think I'm fucked up. I tried to chat
I'm like, yo.
Man, that's fine. It's all good, man. That's a case like that, man. It's okay. You meet him one day, we'll make the connection. It's cool.
I was like,
okay.
Who's this guy with 10 followers asking me 2,000 euros?
I didn't have 10 followers. You're bullshit. That's what you exaggerate.
Listen,
I had a couple of thousands. I don't know how many I had, but I did have a couple of thousand.
I think I arrived.
6,000.
I think I arrived to 30,000 followers on MySpace, and 90% were women. And like, you know what we used to do, me and my boy Audron on MySpace, we used to put on our profile, hey, we will go see this movie at this cinema at that time, Wednesday. You are all invited, ladies. And sometimes it would just me and him and like 20 girls. And then some guys start coming because they were like, wait, because after we would post the photos and we'd be like, yeah. And we had like, we would write Cinema Chicha. And it would be us with a bunch of girls at UGC Cinécité Bercy. I remember one day, after it started becoming a thing, I remember when Shrek number 3, I think, came out, we were the whole cinema. That whole session, it was just us. All the MySpace girls, and maybe, I don't know, like 20, 30 guys, and everybody else was girls from MySpace that we invited, and we're just there like popcorns. Those were the days, but that was a long time ago. So
then we met again a couple of years.
Yeah, we met again in Miami, and then I discovered, oh, wait a minute.
But then when we met again, bear in mind, I wasn't up and coming at the time. In the meantime, I became somebody.
Listen, I was in Miami but the thing is, I was on your turf. I was
Hmm.
it was the ultra, the the dance festival in Miami. So all of a sudden, everybody knew you, and you played at the Delano, and everywhere I would go, people were like, "Oh, that's Boddhi, that's Boddhi," and he was like, "Yeah, yeah, this is Kaysha, he's a legend," and everybody was like, "Oh my God, if Boddhi says you're a legend, you're a legend." I was like, it's
All of
super,
a sudden.
but it's super interesting because you might be somebody somewhere, and you can be nobody somewhere else. Because if we go to Azerbaijan, we might, yeah, there's always one guy who knows you, but there you are complete. Like there's a lot other people, other stars. Like when I go to Bangkok, for example, I met this girl with her boyfriend. The boyfriend is a rapper, and she's an actress in dramas. And so we were talking, and she was like, "Oh wow, I love what you do. Da 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 da. My boyfriend made me listen to your music, Diamonds. I love it. It's great. What's the name of it?" And I was like, "Oh, this is called Kizomba. Wow, it's amazing. You have an Instagram?" So, "Yeah, I have an Instagram. I'm gonna follow you on Instagram." So she follows me on Instagram. She had 9 million followers, and I was like, excuse, "Who are you?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm an actress." And there she's like the superstar, and she has like 9 million followers. And yeah, nobody knew about me, and everybody was discovering about me because it was a completely different territory. And we were talking about, somebody in the comment was talking about territories. It's exactly this. A lot of people don't realize that you have to think territories. I remember when we came to Portugal the first time, me and Elisio, nobody, some people knew our music, but people didn't really know us. So we did like 10 shows for free, just for people to see what we were about. And then we disappeared for 6 months, and then we released albums. And then we conquered that market. And because of conquering that market, we conquered all the after markets, which were Angola, Mozambique, Saint Tome, Cape Verde, etc. Just because we conquered this one. And it's the same thing, that it's how I see the business. But a lot of people, they see this music thing and they refuse to see that it's called the music business for a reason. It's a music and it's a business. You're trying to sell something to some clients. And at some times when you are creating, you have to create. But when you're done creating, you have to think this way. As a godfather, Kaysha did so much for the culture without getting as much prop as he deserves. I'm glad that he's doing it on his own terms. But now I get you, buddy. Listen, Moto music. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. At a point, you have to do it by yourself. Oh, I think one of the first time I felt Kaysha got the props he deserved as a producer was during the Versus celebration with Nelson Freitas. The Zouk and Kizomba industry isn't celebrating legends enough. Listen, the Zouk, the Kizomba, the Afro House, the ancestral, like a lot of our people, they don't know how to celebrate people because I believe that it's because everybody's just trying to survive. And
I will take out ancestral soul from it, because ancestral soul is a new movement that actually acknowledges all the kings and the queens.
I,
Thank you very much, Papa Kisha.
but you
That's
see what I mean.
ooh. I know
you
what
see,
you mean.
you see what I
100%.
mean. It's we really are in a world where people have to learn to celebrate the people that were before them. But the problem is people don't even know how to celebrate themselves between each other. People see everything as a competition, and it's also the market that is like that. It's a market where everybody is always trying to buy you for the cheapest price. And so
True.
it becomes a divide and conquer environment.
But
What?
then you guys have to understand, for me to be with Kaysha in Miami, so there's a shame. He doesn't know. At first, I'm like, he doesn't know. Okay, he doesn't know who I am. He doesn't remember. But yet, Kaysha, I mean, you have to understand. I used to listen to, so Kaysha is older than me, 10 years older than me. So I was still a kid when Kaysha was a superstar already. And so I'm listening to Kaysha's music on MCM Africa, and
Those were the
I'm like,
days.
those were the days, man. And it's like, dude, I'm literally hanging out with my personal hero. You know what I mean? And it's like, fuck.
It's abusing
And
this
here I
guy.
am in my turf, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, and I've never been like a type of guy to be like, yeah. I was actually like, yo, you don't know Kaysha, and I was the one like, yo, you don't, and I was like, nah, man. And then that's actually that's when we met Chef Aki as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Great,
That's when we met her, and I shot a
Yeah.
video actually in one of your one of your performance. I shot the video for "You Are Magical." You've heard.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
What's up with
time flies? Yeah.
What's up with David Guetta and Major Lazer making Ghetto Zouk? I can't wait to start my own channel. Well, listen, it's business. If it works,
Major Lazer have always been
in
into
the African and but the thing is this:
Caribbean stuff.
if you there's one market that has been opened because of Spotify and Apple Music and the internet becoming available for cheap in South America as a whole, and this created a market where guys like J Balvin and Maluma and all of them had the place to express themselves. And of course of course we're talking about millions and millions of people. Just Brazil alone is 250 million people. And then if you take the rest of the whole South American continent, I don't know if it's 500 million people, if it's even more. I don't have the numbers in my head. But when the internet arrived there, all of a sudden, all these people created numbers. And yeah, the music starts shifting. So it's normal that guys who understand that, they know how to make money, and they understand that to make money, you have to do what works and what people like. So, some of these people, that's what they do. And they don't have a problem with this,
422.5 million people in South America. That's a lot of people.
How many?
422.5 million people in South America.
So that's a lot of people who can click on your song. So, of course, that's what they do, because they're not only in South America. In a few years, English will become the second language in North America. Spanish will become the first language, and there will be more Spanish speakers than English speakers. Though some of these people who were the leading and the dominant ethnical and cultural people are slowly becoming a minority in a world where mixing is more and more the norm. And it means the culture change as well. And our musics, listen, what is number one right now in France? Who are selling millions of streams in France? It's a bunch of Congolese kids who are singing zouk with Congolese chords. And look, the one of the best-selling female artists in France in last summer she's from Mali. Aya Nakamura. She's not the standard that they like to put on TV. They don't like to put this type of looking woman. But they didn't have a choice. Because today, we don't need the 6 TV station to tell us what to listen, what to like. So
No, we don't.
It is actually a moment where a lot of people can feel powerless, but it's actually right now the moment where you can take the power. Completely the moment.
Amen.
Fun fact,
Amen.
if you type what is ancestral soul on Google, Boddhi Satva pops up. So how many times do you type Boddhi Satva on Google per day? Let me see. Wow. That's just asking. We all need.
It's just a WhatsApp away.
Yes, we need to see all these. We need all this knowledge in one central location. I would not say central, because when it becomes central, then that's how dictatorship starts. We need to have knowledge, counter knowledge. We need debate. But we need it in a way that is. We need it in a way that is without passion and without tribalism. We just need to look for knowledge, look for dates, and be informed. Because if you take the islands of Cape Verde, for example, before the Portuguese took their slaves there, it was empty. So it's, in a way, it's everybody there has been imported there and is a mix of Senegalese and Benin and Portuguese and Dutch and etc. So the music itself is also a creation, and the music has elements of both from the get-go. So this is a way to explain the music. And a lot of people, they don't take the time to explain the music this way. They just want to say, it's us. A lot of the Congolese, and I think millions of them who flew the war from the Congolese civil war in the 90s, they all ended up in the next country, which was Angola. And a lot of them are now the superstars their kids. A lot of them are the superstars that you know. And one of them even invented, are the one that they say he invented Kizomba. And all this means that the movements of populations have a role to play in the movement of music. And the internet is even worse, because with the internet, listen, anything can become a sensation with TikTok. And you can, so more, and like way more than before, you have the possibility to create something that will explode in a contrary to back in the days. And this is a beautiful thing, in my opinion. A lot of good rhythm came from pressure and oppression. Well.
Oh, so it's just your opinion that counts?
Who said that? Oh. Go ahead. Tell me your opinion. Go ahead. We need all this knowledge in one central location. Go ahead. Tell me what you think.
No. I agree with you totally.
That's your opinion?
Everything you say for me is a gospel, bro. So I'll drink whatever words you pour into my mouth.
Well, listen.
That was weird. Sorry.
That was very, very strange.
That was very freaking strange. I'm sorry.
But it's okay. I accept whatever is your sexuality.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good. We don't want people to say, "Oh, they're homophobics." Boddhi was trying to make a joke. Next thing you know, nah, not at all, man.
Joanne B. What up, Joanne B? Hola, Shada Gang. Great conversation. Marcus Miller is a bass player, and he did an album called Aphrodisia, and he went through the slave trade route and played with the musician from all those countries. Wow, that's beautiful. Same research process is truly fascinating, just like the Colombian listen to Franco. And just like, you know, excuse me, Congolese rumba, that is one of the most popular genres in Congo, existed because back when Congo belonged to the Belgian radio was playing a lot of rumba. And this is created at a point, the groups there started creating their own. So, you know, hey. Kaysha, first of all, I think your voice is amazing. Your face is amazing. Your body is amazing. Your lips are beautiful. And I love the way you have your research so well and you explain things so good. And when I listen to the way you talk, it soothes my mind. My pleasure, Nicoli.
Nicoli, she's feeling the emotions.
L'émotion rentre dedans.
Les cœurs.
Les cœurs. Les vertiges en leur mou. Well, this guy pushed the same comment 2 times. Okay. Off topic. Let Boddhi know I did a remix of Antelope. So he should check on that since he doesn't know me. He might like it. Alright. He's just obsessed with your abs, bro. But
no, I'm not.
I will make him listen to your remix. He probably heard it. Fuck, I'm far away in the comments.
You release it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I have a lot of remix from Ugo F. He just has a tendency to send me the remixes late. When everything is out, that's when he sends me his remix. I'm like, but you know. What up, DJ Soñador? Irina is a good moderator. She's here welcoming people, giving likes. I like this. I'm gonna give you a moderator title, and you can come every night and hang out with us.
For sure.
So where are we? 10 beats in one day. Oh yeah, listen. I did 4 beats today. Listen, Boddhi, I did an amapiano today. Listen, I'm gonna send it to you after the live so you can.
They are not ready.
I still have floppy disks from my roll-on keyboards. Wow. All my keyboards I have the digital versions now. I have Roland Cloud, and they sound exactly like the original. So no more. I went virtual for everything. Party Line was banging in the US. What is Party Line?
Party line. It's gotta be a song, but I don't know from.
What up, Mr. Simmons? Welcome to the Shada Gang. Okay, where were we? Nicoli is saying, Kaysha, I really love the way you explain everything with details, and when your lips are moving, I'm just hypnotized by your lips. I feel away.
Dude.
Thank you, Nicoli. My pleasure.
Where?
Hey. What am I gonna say? My space, living the life. Listen, some of us, we were single at the right time. That's what I'm gonna say. I say that because without our roots, we leave the gap to the business side of the music to dedicate who to label and brand as the voice or face of a particular genre. Well, Portugal is the hub for palap music, and you conquered it. Thank you. Wow, Kaysha, Nicoli, you don't look old at all. You actually look 21. Well, thank you. I'm not old.
Bro.
I'm younger than Boddhi.
He's not so. Yes. He's like Benjamin Button. The older it gets, the younger he is, actually.
Hey. Jerusalem became a worldwide hit. Yeah. Crazy.
Definitely.
Crazy. What up, Redune? Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
I'm not asleep. I'm wondering if I should grab a little bite because I'm feeling kind of hungry. But I'm like,
Oh my God, at this time, it's not time to eat. Correction, Kaysha. Congolese rumba left and basically returned to Congo from Cuba. The creator of rumba in Cuba was Benny More, who always spoke to his Congolese ancestors. Thank you for this. But listen, it's the same thing for Zouk, Kizomba, Kompa. It's the same thing. All these music, they left and they came back changed. So, yeah, I don't really know the history of rumba, but after watching this, I was actually very interested in learning more about the history of those rhythm, and even about not just the Congolese side of it, but really like the whole thing. And then I started looking for the name of the first groups, and then I realized that the great thing about Spotify is that every time you see a new name, you can go and check and search it and listen to. And that was very interesting to see who inspired a lot of our of the Rochero, the Franco, and all these people. And of course, it's Africa is the motherland, so everything comes from Africa. If you just search far enough, and you come back to Africa. We thank Wendo Kolosov and Frank Lassan, the true fathers of Congolese rumba. You see, I like guys like Amir who know what they're talking about. It's very important. Cliff is saying, Boddhi, I actually listened to Anu Ale for the first time today, and I had an orgasmic earrings.
Thank you, Cliff. Well, thank you for those of you discovering the work and sharing about the experience. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to both channels, to Boddhi Satva's channel, and follow him on Instagram. It's important. Irina is saying that you should eat some melancia. That's true.
Yes, she's right.
She's right.
I think I'm going to cut some.
No chicken. I mean, actually, tomorrow I'm going to buy some fruits. So how was quarantine for you? Like, do you feel like what all the artists are feeling, the despair of not making shows? Because for a lot of us, shows was our living, like for a lot of people, shows is 95% of their revenue. How has it been almost 8 months without performing?
It's not been easy, but we survive. If I was able to survive 8 months without performing, I guess it's possible. But the truth is that it's more than ever echoing some of the conversations that we've had previously and prior to this whole COVID-19 madness.
Yeah.
Where you were advising me, which I had started. I mean, because but you were advising me to, build a bigger catalog, really focus on that, and amongst plenty of other things that would lead to a solidification and an exit from the dependence of my gig related incomes. And thankfully I listened to you. It took some time, but we managed to over all these years to get my head wrapped up around the ideas, the concepts, and because it's a muscle, right? To produce that much music, it's a muscle you have to work on. And we started. Remember, you were like, release one song per month. And we did that. Then it was, two, and then it was one song per month almost for about 3 years, and then now it's one song per week.
That's crazy.
So it's crazy, but
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and I think quarantine, this whole quarantine, this whole COVID-19, this whole thing was such that you know it forced us to develop new business models, as you mentioned earlier. To Cliff to go and subscribe to all our respective channels and stuff. That's what it is. We need to now work on the assets that is our music, but also those live talks, those live shows.
Yeah.
I clearly see the numbers when I do my quarantine grooves on Fridays, every Friday at 5 p.m.
Yeah. Plug
it's
that.
growing like this.
Are you gonna have a
so
celebration
dope,
for your episode 79 plus birthday? Do you have
Yeah. I'm
strippers?
people. I was up. No, I don't have
dancers?
strippers. No.
I can come do a surprise again, but last time I did that, I catch COVID, so I don't know.
Well, I can ask my lady to come and see if she's not too busy, and we'll see if we can party.
You can mix together. That would be cute.
No, I don't think she can mix. But she
You don't
she
even
has good
know.
taste in music.
You don't even know.
No,
You might be surprised.
No, she draws very well. She has a good taste in music and stuff. It's funny because she critic a lot my productions, and she has a lot of the time some interesting inputs. But to the point of the party on Friday, the idea was to have you over and be my MC.
Oh. Okay, you have to do a test first because I'm not catching that shit again.
Bro, one thing for sure.
You gave it to me.
I will be doing product placement, so
Hey.
make sure this is what we're gonna be rocking.
Hey.
It won't be a joke.
Represent.
It will be. We will be performing accordingly. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Indeed.
Huh?
This
Shada well.
I got mine too.
Please respect that. Huh?
I got mine too.
Yes. It's important. Yes, sir.
Shada, we're in the area.
So I think that it's been interesting to also work on developing outside of the experience that you have that you share with me, and also the one that I have that I share with you. But obviously,
thank you, Mr. Simmons. Sorry.
Ooh. Bravo.
Thank you. Your business acumen is game changing. I really appreciate your generosity sharing these gems. The original vlogger. God bless. Thank you so much.
Family, make sure you're donating to Papa Kaysha. Keep donating because yes, we might be entrepreneurs. Papa Kaysha might be, but at the end of the day, donations are always appreciated. So
yeah, the school of the kids.
Don't get paid with wind.
Continue.
But when you look at these experiences of ours, and you look at the conversations that we have, the type of visions and ideas that we develop, and also the rapidity at which we are implementing, inspirations. It's really interesting because I'm seeing the impact of it, from the visual branding side of things, from the branding side of things, to the sounds, to the simplification of the whole production process, where it's like, okay, look, cut as much expenses as you can.
Yeah.
Well, this has been anyway the process for a long time, but really working with what you have and making the best out of it with the utmost quality of execution possible. I think that's really something that, yeah, man, it helps. It helps, but it's the truth is that some of the people that we know had to leave their houses. Some of them are without a roof on their head.
Yeah.
Some people, without even capacity to pay for food. I mean, it's tight for everybody, man. I mean, look,
it is.
somebody like you've been doing this for a long time, so you're well organized, your income is steady, you got your shit going on, and it's great, and it keeps evolving and growing. But even me, as much as I've been doing the work and following your advices and making my own experimentation, I'm seeing the impact. But of course, it's asset building, and asset building is not overnight, right? So
Yeah, it's really a question of I always say pyramids. You have to do it bricks by bricks, and
yeah,
it's the first 100 bricks takes a long time, but then once you see your revenue monthly grow and stabilize to 2 times what you were making, all of a sudden you start realizing the vision. And the problem of a lot of people is that they don't have the patience to go and build and do the vision, and they receive a lot of pushback from a lot of people. I remember we had a conversation with a friend, you and me, one time last year, and the pushback was amazing. Our boy didn't want, he was like saying no to everything with no reason. And now I see everybody doing the U-turn. So I mean, this whole pandemic is in a way, I mean, it's also cleansing a lot of bullshit in the music business. A lot of people who are here for not the right reasons, or who didn't, they make a song and then they think they arrived. This is showing you that no, this is not, if you want to build a real career, you really have to think about everything nowadays. And like I always say, you're one phone away. Like, everybody has a phone in their pocket. Everybody, all around the world. Like, you can go anywhere. Somebody has a phone, an internet connection. That's a potential client. And you have 2.5 billion people connected to the internet, and Facebook, Google, Spotify, and all of them, Amazon, they are doing everything they can to connect the next billion of people, which is the African continent. And to have everybody connected, what it means is that our musics will reach the pockets of people who are more in tune with what we are doing. And those who will have a catalog, when this happen,
they will win.
They will win.
It's interesting because I was going today through my YouTube, for example, to the YouTube to Milo YouTube and to Offering Recordings YouTube, my label, and I was cleaning the playlist. I was deleting a lot of playlists that I had created to really simplify the look, and also sort of like make it so that there's 1 or 2 playlists or 3 with just everything.
Yeah.
Chronologically, whatever, but just make sure that it's easy to access and it's there. And it's taking care of those little things. It's like, for example, having a Linktree account where you have all your if you have an interview or new music, whatever, you have all your links there. And now, because me, I'm super detail oriented, just like yourself. I love well crafted things.
It's
I
important.
consider myself an artisan. Right, you guys don't know. When I work on music, I always have my apron. Most of the time, I have my apron on because it puts me in this mindset of like a craftsman, like somebody who's really shaping, like a piece of art. Was it be? Because for me, music is like shaping a chair or a table. You know what I mean? It's really a work of art. And was it be making music for the sake of generating income? Or just music for the sake of creating very specific, experiences. And man, it's a business. People don't realize
it is
a business. Like, and it's funny because I was talking to some artists, to a rather big artist 2 days ago, and that artist was like, "Yo, how do you do it?" And I was like, "Really, bro? Like, dude, are you seriously telling?" Like, these people are so used to be pampered by major labels and like, today they're independent and nobody's really giving them no advances anymore. So
They created
They're lost.
a whole generation of people who don't know how to walk by themselves because everything was done for them. Like the promo, the this, all you had to do was go in the studio. You was paid. All you had to do is get your advance and try to make their pay you by recouping their advance. And the problem is nowadays, yeah, like the a label will not give you the money that they used to give you. Back in the days, you could have like 1 million. Today, no, because the streams, one stream brings you like 0.03 cent. So you don't just throw money just like that. Even if, in a way, the music industry is growing now. But a lot of these people, and it's not just the people who were signed to labels. I know a lot of people that I knew 10, 20 years ago, they are in the same situation. They're lost. They don't know, like when you tell them, hey, listen, but I don't have the money to release something. And I send them videos of a kid who records, he creates all his music on an iPhone. And he records all his vocals on an iPhone with the microphone of the iPhone. He records like this. And he records his songs. And then once he does the mix in his iPhone, he sends then everything to master from his iPhone. And then he releases everything into the distribution. It costs you nothing. You have a lot of distributors. All they will take is 10% of the money you make, and then they will pay you. And he's making a living. So all the excuses.
There's a problem. People make excuses.
Yeah, sometimes it's a lack of knowledge. So Irina was talking about a quote that my system gave me here. I can't give you a surefire formula for success, but I can give you a formula for failure. Try to please everybody all the time. That's the thing that you should not do. Hi, Heather. Welcome to Shada Gang.
Hello.
He says hello. Boddhi, I like the apron concept. I do agree that.
Yeah, man. Because the thing, right? For example, me, I'm passionate by a lot of things. So I have a lot of passions, and I like for example, like bespoke shoes, right? Shoemaking. I don't have the to learn about that craft is complicated, but at least I would like to one day try
to make your own
shoe.
shoes.
Look, my own shoe made with my own hands, with maybe obviously with a professional craftsman, specialist in the field. Bro, it's something amazing. Like for me, because I love fine cloth. I love the whole sartorial thing, man. You know me, man. I love perfumes. I love yo, man, it's like architecture. There's so many things that I want to do before I get called out by the creator, right? And so after this whole COVID that you and I experienced, and seeing our lives almost,
taken
go
away
before our eyes, I feel like, I want to do all of this, man, and I don't have no excuses. And the funny thing is that I am connected with most of those people. Like I personally know and have access to all these folks, and I'm like, and I've been talking to a couple of them, but I've just not had the capacity, I just haven't had, I just haven't had my mind wrapped up around it because we're too busy. First of all, building the assets musically.
Yeah.
But then there's so many other things, and man, as I said, like the whole bespoke thing, people don't understand, like. And when you're really into this, like the way I am, I'm really, really passionate about this.
Yeah, you are.
Like a lot of people, they use bespoke, or made to measure.
Yeah.
Or, but a lot of them have so much lack of taste. like how they would have like the jacket, be shorter than the sleeves of the shirt, like so many people don't understand that it is important to invest in a really, really good jacket, in a really, really good piece of well thought and well put together piece of cloth. Like, come on, man, a minimum investment, because you don't buy a suit, you invest in a suit, because
Yep.
it's gonna be given to your kids tomorrow, or you know what I mean. It's something that's gonna last you the test of time. Eventually, if you know how to take care of it, the minimum investment is €1,000.
Easy
And
have
why
them.
would you spend €1,000 in a suit? Because, bro, everybody their own thing. Like, why would you invest? Save money to invest in some Jimmy shoe
Yeah.
because you see value in it.
I want to do my own bespoke suits. Awesome. I recently
good.
bought a sewing machine. And I also started mixing my own fragrances. You just
Nice.
gotta go for it. Yeah. Being a creative for 30 years, passion for me, but my self-awareness yells at me to step up my game. That's the spirit. That's the spirit,
100%, man.
There's a lot of things that I want to do. I want to do shoe for women as well. I was telling you, I want to start doing movies and TV series. Like, there's so many things. I just believe that we just have to take things one step at a time and make sure to have a vision, to have a grand plan, a vision, so that the everyday can be on the service of that vision. And then every month you see where you are with your plan. That's the way I've been doing everything. Some things take a year, some take a month, some take 5 years, some take 10 years. The problem of a lot of people is they're in a hurry. They're in a hurry,
Yeah.
and they want to succeed fast. If you succeed fast, it means that you're gonna lose a lot of steps on the way, and it means that if there's any problem, you're gonna fall back to zero quick. But if you take the time to visit and lock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 1,000, if you fall from 10 points, you will still be at 990, and then you can go back from 10 and from there.
Exactly.
And a lot of
Building the
people,
process, right?
yeah, a lot of people, they don't build. It's like, when you're playing a video game, you have to do the whole level before you reach the boss. When you reach the boss, when you fight the boss, now you're always going to start the game at level 2. And then a lot of people, they want to reach level 10 quick by cheating, and then
But they're not ready.
they're not ready, so they get killed straight from the get-go, and they go back to level 0, and then they don't have the courage to climb again. And I've been telling this to a lot of people, like, take the time to consolidate every level where you are and appreciate the process. A lot of people are obsessed with the goal. I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want to be this. I want to be a painter. I want to build a house. I want to be an architect, etc. And they focus on what they want, and instead of loving the process of becoming. When you love the process of becoming, every single day, every beat that you do, every drawing that you do, every cake that you do, if you want to be a baker, is getting you to the end goal. And then you don't think anymore about the end goal because you are busy enjoying what you do today. And then the end goal, once you're there, you don't even realize. And then you go to the next one.
I want to add to what you're saying. There's a guy that I check out a lot. His name is Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? And it's funny because today, I was watching one of his interview conversation with this guy, Brian from London Real. And he was talking about, the chemistry in the brain and how the way we think and how we perceive things affect our daily lives. And I've been a believer of that too as well. I mean, you are what you think, Um,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. If you see it in your brain, it will come to life. I can guarantee you, man. Like even us being here, the relationship that we built over the years and all that. This, as I remember vividly as a kid, when I'm hearing telephone for the first time, for example, uh, and I'm like, in my subconscious mind, I was like, I'm going to work with this man one day. But at the time, I know for a fact my father is not trying to let me be a musician, and I want to be a professional NBA player, you know. And my father's best friend, who at the time, was super good friend with Patrick Ewing, recruiting for the NBA, comes to the house and tell my father, he tells me, yeah, but he tells me that I have potential, but then goes and tells my father that he doesn't see me going much further in anywhere in the NBA or in the game of basketball. And then I'm like, really? So I decided to prove them all wrong, and I ended up kind of like proving them wrong, and then I messed up my knee, and then here I am making music, and right before making music, I'm a diamond cutter, right? So I'll go to Antwerp. I learned how to cut diamonds. I study rough and polished diamonds. I'm extremely skilled and talented at this,
People don't know this about you.
craft. Yeah, people don't know that, right? And it's like, I was super great at cutting diamonds. That was a really, really good apprentice to my master. A big shout out to Danny. And so, further down, here we are, man. And I'm looking, everything that I wanted came to life. Everything that I envisioned for myself. Well, at least most of the things. But I can actually say, yeah, most of it, 95% of everything I've seen and manifested in my brain materialized itself. I can tell you without a doubt. So if you think and you are what you think, and I'm not sharing this because, it's not like, we are like on some Jeff Bezos type of money, which we're working for. But, we are regular people just like you guys. We have bills to pay. We have days where we're like stressed. We're like, oh shit, there's this, there's that, there's. Look, but still, we've managed to create greatness just from the start of a thought, a vision.
It is amazing. Sometimes I realize, I invest a lot in stock option in companies, and then I realize that my music generates more money. My musical assets generate more money than my stock option assets. And where it's super interesting is that to make $20,000 worth of a stock option portfolio, I need $20,000. To make $20,000 from my music, I just need electricity and internet. And that's what is magic for me. You have to turn off your speakers because you are making echo here.
Continue, Papa, okay, I'm listening.
Oh. Yeah, so it's really a question of as creators. As creators, we have to be able to. We really have to be able to understand what we are worth. Believe in ourselves and really understand what is generating income and work on it, and then try to multiply what is generating income and try to create new avenues of money making. And it's not just a question of it's not money for money. It's money to be building something. It's money so that your children come to adulthood with less stress than you had, and your family can make sure they will have a home forever. And it's not just trying to have more money just to have more money. It's being able to live comfort with the comfort and with the joy of not having the stress of asking yourself if you can pay your rent. I'm super grateful that I can pay my whole rent of the year in 1 month. I work 1 month and boom, I can pay my whole rent. I'm grateful for that. And when I think that I want to make double my income with the assets I'm creating, it's not just I want to make more money because I want to see money in my account. No, I want my daughter to arrive at 18 and already be an owner of her own apartment. I want my mother has a lot of land in Congo. I want to just tell her, hey, I tripled your land. Go ahead, create food for our people. All this it's always a question of vision. It's always a question of becoming more of what you were. And it's always like, once your dream have been fulfilled, create more dreams. And it's interesting because everywhere I go, people love to talk to me about my old dreams. Yo, you have to be number one again. I was like, I've been number one 30 times, bro. Like, I don't need that anymore. I mean, I'm not even like interested in that. Yeah, but no, so you can do shows. I don't care about making shows. I did 1,000 shows in my life. I've been everywhere already. I have new dreams. And a lot of people, they forget about this ability, the ability to have new dreams, the ability to work for the next dreams. I've always dreamed of building my own plugin for Logic. I love that dream, bro. You should go for it. The day you do your own plugin, I'll be your first customer. I recently started using the Pomodoro technique. You work on a project for 25 minutes and then you take 5-minute break. You get like 10 done by the end of the day. You feel like you were productive. Listen, today I make 4 beats. I was doing one. I was doing an up. Then I was going back to it. Then I finish it, mix it, master it. Then I go nap. Then I come back, do another one. Finish it, start another one. Go to the gym, come back from the gym, do another one. Go walk 5 kilometers and do another one. And I'm live. So yeah, Yeah, diamond polishing. Your boy here. He was the king of Antwerp back in the days. I'm sure he speaks Flemish. Flemish? Do you say Flemish?
Yeah, Flemish.
I like the way you both think. Very smart. Thank you, Heather. And we're cute too. That yearly rent for 1 month is my goal for sure. Yeah, it's important. It's goals. Defining goals changed my life. Defining goals and learning how to. I had one of my mentors told me one day, your problem is that you have so many things in your head going on and so many things that you want to do that you just work everything at the same time and you end up only doing 10% of everything. I learned to finish everything I start. This is something I learned to do, and this changed my whole process. I don't start stuff to leave it there. I start stuff, I release them, and then I'm on to the next project. I'm not here like having some sentimental thoughts about my songs. When I listen to them and I take the time to listen to them, then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm feeling everything I felt when I wrote the song. But the rest of the time, I'm busy on the next thing. So yeah, The focus. It's called focus. And now listen, learning to love the process, yeah, is what I think people should do. But we've been here talking for 2 hours, and it's 3 a.m. and some people need to sleep. So when is the celebration? Me? No, me. I'm gonna do some beats. I'm gonna record some songs actually. I'm gonna make some vocals.
Man, we just didn't start. I was expecting somebody a little bit more. Come on, Papa Kaysha. I'm very surprised by these ways you have now, man. But it's okay. I guess some people need to sleep.
Don't make me remind you the day that you fell asleep on Zoom.
Hold on, which conversation was it?
We were doing a gentleman's club conversation, and
I fell asleep.
And you fell asleep live. Glad.
At a certain point, I was like, guys, I'm out. You know when you're like, because everybody's talking, and then they're like, oh.
I remember we were doing the live with Eddie Kadi, and so last week, 2 weeks ago, and we were almost at the end, but we were talking, and I was talking, I don't know what, and then I received a message from him. He was like, "Bro, I don't feel my body anymore. Like my eyes I'm falling asleep. I'm just shutting down." And then I was just like, "Okay, bro." So it was a pleasure liberating the hostage.
But you know, what's interesting about what you were saying earlier is that, you know, the whole idea of being able to pay your rent in 1 month, your whole year rent in 1 month, seems to be very far-fetched for a lot of people. And it's almost feeling like it's impossible, because who can afford to do that, you know? But people forget that, just as you said, they don't see what's behind, you know, the curtains. When you get on stage, you don't see the amount of preparation. This is the result of all these years of trials and tribulations and mistakes,
25
and
years.
learning from these mistakes, implementing. So it's 25 years career. Can you believe that? 25 years. And then, for example, if I look at my personal career, I'm going to be celebrating my 20 years anniversary career next year. But then, if I really am clear with myself, I've built my sound, I've built my name, my reputation, my network, which is very important. My father always told me, like, you need a network. You need your wealth it's human currency. It's not money. Money is great, but that's not what's going to get you far. It's people. So I've built that. But then eventually in that process, I forgot to build obviously what I need, which is money for, you know, having that comfort, etc. And so our encounter leads to conversations where, you know, we speak 2 hours, 3 hours weekly, if not more. And then me, you know, starting to process ideas that are completely foreign and completely alien to my world and to my way of functioning, because I come from the underground house music industry, independent label, from that scene where we have this very close-minded approach to things, and it's all about that whatever, to where we are now, further down, and as we're talking about 7 years at least. That's a 7 years process of work, conversations, back and forth.
Indeed.
And now I'm seeing the result of 7 years. So in the next 7 years from now, my asset and everything that I've built will bring me the necessary money to probably even pay 2 years rent in 1 month.
That's the spirit.
So if you understand that you just have to be patient and work with time, you can do it.
Indeed.
Now, we don't know how much time we have here, but believe me, can't just be there waiting for you to die because you're gonna die someday. So just don't wait for it and fuck move. You know, at least that's my opinion. So yeah, I was just adding to what you're saying.
Don't take me. Don't take me for a fool. We are not. But I would love to bring you and your beautiful lips for a talk here on my work. These people really need this kind of advice. Well, listen, I don't know what is your work, but yeah, send an email. After COVID, maybe we can organize that with your people. Send an email, Kaysha@kaysha.com.
You can point your camera to his lips, just so that as he speaks, you can make sure it's a 4K as well. And Kaysha, make sure you put some things to moisturize the lips so that it can be all
Love
wet.
yourself first and everything else falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything in this world. And I will leave you guys with that. So listen, guys, it's been a pleasure having you with us. Before you go, I would like everybody to leave a like on this video, go to the comment section and leave a comment if you like the conversation, leave something nice, I like the conversation, etc. Don't forget to subscribe to Boddhi Satva's channel. Subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already. And make sure that, stick around, go in the channel, watch a few videos, like them, leave a comment. It's always a pleasure, and it's a great way to support. It's a great way to support. Thank you so much, Tatiana, for sticking with us for these 2 hours and a half. I really thought that Boddhi would have fallen asleep before that, so I'm happy that he didn't. And before we go, I'm gonna play you a track produced by me, and then produced by DJ Satellite. Sorry, but me singing, and remixed by Mr. Boddhi Satva himself. This is my newest hit. It's already playing in Brazil. It's playing in Congo. It's playing here and there. It's really a great song. I need everybody in the chat to leave a heart for Mr. Boddhi Satva here and congratulate him on all his hard work. For those who don't know, he has an amazing, incredible catalog of songs. You can go to his profile on Spotify, follow him, or Apple Music, or wherever you legally listen to music, and make sure you like some of his songs. Listen, discover the universe. It's a big universe. There's a lot of great music. Myself, I'm still discovering it. It's been a pleasure having you guys. And Boddhi, last words.
You said it very well, brother. Please make sure you continue to support us, because without you, there is no we.
Yep, indeed.
And so may you all be shining your brightest light as you endorse yourselves and believe in your talent.
Hey.
Yeah, your number one.
And guys, make sure to, I want to invite the whole Shada gang Friday for Boddhi Satva live stream. It's going to be 5 p.m. Portugal time, I think, right? Friday is going to be Boddhi Satva birthday celebration. So make sure you come and, and chill with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Boddhi, thanks for your time, and let's listen to this crazy song.
Thank you, Boddhi.
Basialelo Likambo. Si ta God fait des coups bas, changer de monde. Si Si elle te prend pour un yuma, changer de mot. Soki azapaka juma, changer de mot. Kebana basi alelo ebele bakoma bandoki. Si ta go ne cuisine pas, changer de mot. Si elle veut seulement te china, changer de mot. Soki alingi mbongo mingi papa, changer de mot. Akeba basi alelo ebele bakoma miyibi. Changer de mot. Changer de mot. Changer de mot. Changer, changer. Changer de mot. Changer de mot. Changer de mot.
Les go qui sont belles, qui sont bonnes.
Changer de mot.
En même temps qui sont folles, qui sont chiantes.
Oh, changer de mot.
Les go qui sont douces et câlines.
Changer de mot.
Mais qui aiment vraiment trop péter les plombs.
Changer de mot.
Pas petite, vraiment hystérique.
Changer de mot.
Celles qui n'ont jamais de crédit.
Oh, changer de mot.
Oyo bako sakamingi.
Changer de mot.
Oyo balanaka ministre.
Changer de mot. Changer de mot. Changer de mot. Changer, changer. Changer de mot. Changer de mot. Changer de mot.
Si ta go ne fait pas bien, changer de momie. Si tu vois qu'elle te ment beaucoup, changer de momie. Quand tu la vois, ça s'élève pas, changer de momie. Collé, serré, écarté, poulet, changer de momie. On va te changer ma chérie, on va te bouger ma chérie.